Come on!
Good gaming, everyone. Welcome to the one and only Neutral Gaming Podcast on YouTube. You can go anywhere to hear what you want to hear, but you can only come here to hear the truth. Today, we're going to talk about FoamStars. And we're going to talk about some suggestions from the community that is really digging this game right now. We recognize it's a beta, so there is mostly a chance that major designs, or I don't even know if these are major, but big designs, changes might not be there at launch, but maybe for the longevity of this project, future updates, these things can be added. Some of these things may be able to be added on launch. Someone told me Neo did something like this after the beta, added a pretty major update, major change in game design or gameplay. So if that's possible, great. If not, you know, we can only hope that a major corporation is listening to the fans. Not very likely. You can hear the tone in my voice. But I can say this. I'm going to try to make this video a little short. I guess half of these are suggestions that came from the community. Half of them are suggestions that I thought were creative myself, that I kind of came up with. Here we go. There's going to be 10 of them. Number 10, and it's going in order of quirks that can add some longevity, and I guess 2 things that are vital to the game. Number 10, speed jumps. Okay, we see that there's an ability to slide on foam, and the game is pretty vertical. I would love if there was an ability, if you gathered enough speed, the graphics on the screen would show that you're kind of, the world is flying by you fast, the breeze is coming by you fast, you're intensifying the speed. If you had the ability to go up a little foam ramp that was created with some hang time, some air, some distance, maybe to be able to jump over someone else's foam mound, the opposing team's foam mound, land in the middle of a fight, land behind the enemy for some fun, dynamic action. Number 9, a platform mode. Okay, so we know it's a shooter, but these games nowadays can get pretty creative, and I think by proxy of the gameplay core design, you have some opportunities on your hand, and one of those are a platform mode. Now, if you pretty much create some maps that certain levels, certain platforms are hard to be reached, certain goals, certain things you have to pick up are hard to be reached, and you have to use foam. Maybe you fight while you're going up the platform, maybe the platformers are moving and it adds a lot of difficulty. Maybe you have some little enemies in the game that make the platforming difficult. Now we're talking about future updates. We're talking about longevity. I get this is something that you might not be able to do at launch, but that would be great for this, to add some dynamism to the game. Number 8, adding more dynamism to this game. This was basically my tweak on somebody else's suggestion. A downhill snowboarding race / shoot while boarding. The slash is not absolutely necessary. I get what, game design, but a downhill snowboarding game mode where you're racing, maybe every man for himself, maybe teams, and teams will probably be better, where you can race down a hill, and every time you add foam to a platform, you can slow down the opposing team by putting your foam in their path, or increase your speed by putting foam in your or a teammate's path. Right? I think that could be incredibly fun. It doesn't have to be fully downhill, it could be ramps. That goes to the first suggestion about speed jumps. Number 7. Say what you want to say. Battle Royale is the new capture the flag, the new king of the hill, and this game is perfect for it. With the abilities, the movement abilities. Now, this is further in the future, of course, but we're talking about longevity and updates in the future, especially if the game is successful. I thought it should have been at launch. But a battle royale mode, maybe a sandbox mode, if you want to call it that, where maybe it's not pickups, maybe it is pickups, but you're moving along the map. It's forcing you by using that closing circle, and you have all these abilities to. Since the game is so much like Fortnite with its building mechanics, you have so much ability to move around the map, really emphasizing the platform and the terraforming abilities, I guess you want to call it, with the foam. Number 6, capture the flag. I know we already have smash the star. That's cool. It's a little like capture the flag, but I think the abilities to hide behind foam, create foam blockades, create foam paths, really helps with a game mode like capture the flag. The foam adds so much dynamism to a game mode like capture the flag. Tying into that, number 5, king of the hill. Like I said before, surrounding the hill with foam, maybe it's multiple hills, whatever, adds so much dynamism to it. I mean, it's such a defensive tactic, adding that terraforming with the foam. I think that would be fun. Number 4, I've seen this multiple times. A single player campaign. You probably have this, right? It's a good chance you have this, but just know if you're teetering between should we add this or not, should we just make it a straight up multiplayer game, just know there's a bunch of people out there hoping for a single player campaign. And with the, it might be too late to even suggest it, but like I was saying, with the platforming abilities, that can be a pretty cool single player campaign. Number 3, camera options, mainly a zoom out camera option. I think the camera is pretty good already, a little zoomed out, but you're going to be a little bit more zoomed out so you can kind of see what's going on around you a little bit more, especially with the foam kind of blocking the view. Now, this is not for people who are going to get good at this game really fast, but for casuals and people just who aren't going to be really good at this game, this might be really helpful. The ability to zoom out, see what's going on among the chaos, and make their gameplay a little bit more smooth, right? Number 2, big one. There's already complaints about spawn camping. You have one pretty much spawn zone for each team, and I get how intricate it is to the gameplay to have centralized spawn areas, because you want the team to be able to make their way through the map through teamwork and terraforming. But to add 2 more ramps would really help. North, south, east, west. Somebody's already suggested this. um, don't make it already be a problem at the launch of your game. You should really take this one seriously. And number one, build and deconstruct graphics. I don't know if you ever seen, of course you've seen, but Fortnite, when you're building a wall or whatever, you see these planks kind of come up. You see these holograms and all that stuff like that. If when you're building and deconstructing, the HUD would be a lot more understandable, especially for newcomers, if you had some graphics that actually showed what you're doing. Like if you're deconstructing an opposing team's foam, and you saw little bubbles pop on the side showing that it's being deconstructed, and maybe bubbles forming or something like that, showing that you're building your own mound or whatever. Maybe not that part as necessary, but the deconstructing part is very necessary in my opinion. Showing what you're actually doing on the map, it would help for people who this game is a kind of a lot to them. So that's pretty much it. Top 10 suggestions for FoamStars, both from the community and for myself. The game is looking really fun so far. Just some additions can really make this game a success, and I hope you take the community's suggestions seriously. With that, I want to say peace out to everyone. Like, comment, and subscribe, or not. But I'll see you guys later. Hope you appreciate this video. Goodbye.